What's going on, everybody? My name's Matt. I'm the technical founder of Dayonelead.com. We've had a couple customers now ask for demos of some of the recent functionality that we've added, and so today I'm going to be going over everything sort of at a high level. But when you first join the platform, join Dayonelead, you're going to be greeted in our dashboard by our friend Scout. Scout is our AI assistant. His job is to help determine your ideal customer profile and then recommend you leads based on his sort of black box artificial intelligence classification system. And so what he's going to do when you first join is he's going to ask a couple questions about your business. Who are your ideal customers? Which categories are they in? And sort of who do you sell to? Where do you operate? If you're on our growth plan, you get access to all the states. If you're on starter, you'll have to select just one. And then some other questions: what signals matter to you? Anything we should exclude? And examples of dream customers. And so at a high level, what that's going to do for you is every single day, Scout is going to recommend you 20 different leads on our platform. And these leads will be emailed to you if you configure it that way. So you can, in your settings page of your dashboard, configure who you want your email recipients to be. So in this case, it's just me, but they're being sent to you every day over email, and you can find them here in your recommended tab of the dashboard. And so that's sort of Scout's job and what you'll see Scout doing. So even at the top of today's leads, you see some of Scout's picks. But today's leads is really the heart of the platform, the bread and butter. So every single day, today's leads is going to update with LLC filings from yesterday. So it lags one day behind. So when you select today, these are LLCs that were processed by the state the day before. Actually, I think for some leads, like California, for example, I think it actually is same day, but some of the states are they'll release the information the day after. But every single day it's updating, and you can filter by the characteristics and the qualities that you care about. So for example, if you're a web development agency and you want to see websites that were filed recently that have outdated sites, then you can select the website quality tags. If you, let's say you're an insurance company, you want to sell to a company with 6 to 25 employees, you can select that filter option here. And website quality, revenue estimation, and employee estimation are all sort of AI deductions. So the AI takes everything that it can find on the company and estimates these things. And so basically, this is the heart of the platform. This is going to update for you every single day. If you find a lead that you like, you can add it to your CRM. You can see here that these are blurred out just for the purposes of this demo. But you can add these things to our internal CRM, and you can sort of work through them. And you can just see I actually have been working through some of the leads in my dashboard, and even won a couple of them. So that's basically the bread and butter of the platform. The all leads page is basically what it sounds like. It's every single lead that we have on the platform all in one place. And then of course you can do your own filtering here. And this is going to filter through all 300,000 leads that are tier 1 and tier 2 in the 5 states that we have. So if you want, for example, construction leads, then we can search for construction. And it should populate here any second. So yeah, we have a ton of leads, so the search can be a couple seconds sometimes. Always working on improving things, so hopefully that'll get improved at some point. But yeah, you can see these would all be construction related leads, and there's no guarantee that these ones were filed today, but you can see, for example, this one was filed on June 21st, which is 3 days ago. And so you can you can pop these open, and in the sidebar you can sort of browse information about them. And then, for example, if we already touched on adding it to your CRM, but if you want to export these leads, you can first off export all 20 that you get daily of your recommended leads into a CSV file and upload them to the CRM of your choice. Or you can use our export leads functionality. So let's say I want to export some of the leads that are currently in my CRM. I can use this little export from CRM functionality. I'm not sure if my camera's hiding it right now. But let's say I want to follow up with 17 leads here, then I can just select all of them and then export the 17 that I've selected. And we let you export 200 of them a day. The long-term vision is we want everyone to be using the CRM in Dayonelead, so you don't ever have to leave the platform. I know outreach can sort of oftentimes be a multi-platform thing. Maybe you're getting your leads from one place and doing your CRM work in another place, but we want everything to be sort of a one-stop shop for new business outreach. So that takes us into the next component, which will also tie back into the CRM, which is the email functionality. So you can email directly from the CRM, but in order to do that, you first need to visit your email outreach tab. And so there's a couple different things going on in here. The first step for you in the email tab is going to be to go to the mailboxes page and then add your mailbox. So in order to do that, we have nice steps depending on what your email provider is for each one. All of them are determined by an IMAP connection. So basically, if you have a Google Workspace account, for example, what you're going to do is you're going to create an app password, an IMAP app password, enter in your email address, your sender name, and we have nice steps for how to do that on each platform. The one we don't support currently is Microsoft 365, but we're going to get that supported soon. So once you connect your email inboxes, you can see I have a bunch here. What you can do is you can create your email signatures and some email templates. And I'll tell you, the one thing I like about email templates is if I'm working through the CRM and let's say I call somebody and now I want to follow up with them. Let's say this person here, I just had a call with them and now I want to follow up with them. I can, well actually I already sent these people an email. Maybe we'll go to someone new. And let's pretend that I just called these people, which you actually can do in the CRM as well. And that just uses sort of your default browser, whatever phone you have hooked up to your browser or your computer. You hit the one-click call button and it'll call them. And then you can email them from here as well. So I can say use template. And this is a template I've already created, a quick follow-up template. And so you can see it automatically pulls in their LLC name. And then it says, hey, it's Matt from Dayonelead following up on our conversation. And then it has basically the template filling out the subject and the message. And then I can select which one of my connected emails that I want to send this from. So that's basically the sort of static template and the manual email outreach that this connecting your mailbox enables. But the more exciting functionality, I think, is the cold email campaign. And so what this does is the same thing that other platforms provide, albeit in a more expensive manner, is you can configure these cold email campaigns to email as many of the leads as you want on the platform. So you can see we do limit it to like 10,000 a month, but this is 10,000 leads that you can contact on the platform per month. And usually, like for example, if I have 5 email inboxes connected, I don't want to send more than 50 emails per day on any one of those inboxes. And the reason for that is inbox authority. So basically, we have this warm-up functionality. So before you start a campaign, you want to warm up the emails that you've connected. And this is, again, all native on the platform. We've hooked up to a cold email warm-up network. And what this does is it slowly ramps up the number of emails that your connected email address is sending to this warm-up network. And what the other emails in the warm-up network do is they interact with your emails and like mark them as important. And so what this does is it makes the email providers think that you're a authoritative email address, or that these emails are coming from an authoritative email address. Because if you just create an email inbox and then start spamming cold emails from it, Google, for example, is going to see that and they're going to be like, I haven't seen this email before. No one's really been interacting with it. This is just obviously a spam email inbox. But if you warm them up first, you can see, for example, and the nice thing about the email network is you can see and you can report when it lands on the inbox versus when it lands in spam. And so you can see most of my emails have been warming up, and they send like 10 a day, for example. And from this one, 100% have landed in the inbox. So before you start your cold email campaigns, you're going to want to warm the emails up. And you can again do that on the platform just by toggling this functionality here. And then once you warm them up, you can now start your cold email campaign. And these cold email campaigns are based on lead cards. So in order to create a campaign, we can see, you can hit this new campaign button. What it's going to ask you to do first is create a lead card. And so for example, I have one here, and this one is just all construction leads. I have no interest in selling to construction companies, but maybe you have a construction software and you want to sell to them. What you can do is you can add them via the add lead functionality. So you can filter just like you can on the main page, and you can add up to 10,000 leads per month per email campaign. And so you create the lead cart, and like I mentioned, I have 572 in here. And then you start the campaign from the lead card. You don't have to use a lead card. You can upload a CSV, but I don't know if maybe you're paying for leads from elsewhere and just want to use the email functionality. But the lead card is obviously the more cost-effective way of doing this. So what happens is basically you configure your sequence. Hey there, and then you can do. Let's say I want to say hey there business name. So what you can see is we have this little preview of what each lead is going to see. So like, hey there, EJJ, WMM, hey there, block builders. And these little cards will just pull the information from the lead. And then I can say, hi, first name. And if we don't have the first name, it'll just say, hey there. But for some of these, yeah, hi James, hi Julian, hi Raul, hi Brenda. And so you're configuring your sequence. Buy my thing, and then add a follow-up. Usually the subject you're going to want to keep it the same, just following up here, and then you can configure how many days later you want it to send. So for this one, it's going to wait 3 days and then send, and then you can do that. You can do 10 of them if you want, yeah, you're just configuring your sequence, and then in the next step, once you hit continue, you're going to configure which ones you want them to send from, the schedule. So I have mine mostly configured to send on weekdays between certain times, and then you configure how many you want per mailbox each day. It says here in the note 30 to 50 is sort of the safe range for a warmed up email inbox. And then the nice thing is you can create a follow-up rule. So a follow-up rule will, let's say, the basis of the follow-up rule is basically when a recipient clicks through and visits your site, and you can set up the tracking here. There's a tracking tab where you can create a link and then add a script to your site so that Dayonelead can see when people are visiting your site. It's going to stop the sequence and then send a follow-up email. So in one of my campaigns, if someone that I sent a cold email to comes and visits my website, it stops the sequence, and then the next day it'll send them a follow-up email saying like, hey, I noticed you visit the site. Do you want a month-long free trial or something like that? And so I'll just turn this off for now though. And then once we hit continue, you review it, and then you can launch to 572 leads. And that's basically the email outreach functionality in a nutshell. You do have your unified inbox here. So I haven't gotten any campaign replies yet, but if anyone replies to any of the cold emails sent in my campaign, it shows up here. I can see all the ones that I sent, which I've sent a ton. It's paginated. But that's sort of the gist. The CRM, the export lead functionality, the CRM's great. I use it a lot. I've added a bunch in here. I'm still working on improving the CRM, but we're always looking for feedback. And if anyone has functionality that they think is missing from here, go ahead and let me know, and send us an email to either admin or support at Dayonelead. But that's sort of the high-level overview. You can obviously just compose directly from the email outreach tab. Pick the email you want to send from, send it from here. Maybe you want to use a template. But that's sort of it. The API is coming soon. We've had some people request API access. It is coming soon, and that'll be included in the growth subscription. So stay tuned. But thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.